Donald Trump, while speaking in Ankara ahead of NATO summit in the Turkish capital, made a big statement that shows hostilities are back between Iran and the US. Trump says interim accord with Iran to end war is over. US President also added that the memorandum of understanding signed with Iran to end the conflict was quote-unquote over, adding he didn't want to engage with Tehran anymore. The statement was made after a long period of talks between both the sides seemed to have hit a brick wall.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. To me...
Well, that was President Donald Trump saying that his engagement with Tehran was over and the deal signed between Iran, US and Israel is over. This is what Donald Trump said while speaking in Ankara. He said that he doesn't want to deal with Tehran anymore. Let's listen in to Donald Trump once again.
Me? I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Viewers, the fragile calm between Washington and Tehran may be coming to an end because US President Donald Trump has declared that the interim understanding with Iran is quote-unquote over, raising fresh concerns over the future of relations between the two countries and also the fate of West Asia. And this statement is very, very important because it comes after months of diplomatic engagement between the parties of war that was aimed at preventing another military confrontation. But Trump has now indicated that he has no interest in further engagement with Tehran, suggesting that the negotiations have stalled. The timing is also very important because Trump made these remarks while he was in Ankara ahead of NATO summit, sending a message not just to Iran but also to American allies who are gathered for key security discussions. We have Major General K.K. Sinha joining us on the phone line. A very good afternoon, General Sinha. How do you look at Donald Trump's statement saying that the MOU signed between Iran, Israel and US is technically over? This is what Donald Trump has said. What do you make of this statement, sir?
Good afternoon, Jai Hind. Trump, statements coming that I do not want to deal with Iran. He's saying there are 6 people. And he's saying that MOU is more or less over. See, this type of rhetoric, he keeps doing it to pressurize. At the same time, things progresses. And it is not happening the first time. It has been happening since beginning. They had a talk, and then he actually carried out a strike on 28th February. And thereafter, the same game he played. He at one stage, he has been making a statement that he will put in his stone age. And the second time he wants to have second day itself to want to have a talk with them. So what he says, it has not much meaning, but the ground reality is the thing which everything depends. See, what is the ground reality as on today? The ground reality is that Iran has understood its strength, especially the Hormuz, which is giving more leverage than the nuclear and the missile what they had. So now they have got something, and this is a magic way. It is working. And it is working, and Donald Trump is not going to get away from this. So the point is there that Iran will demand more and more concessions. And I think, and they will be able to sustain it. And America has got no other choice. If you carry out the strategic analysis deeply, militarily also, if he gets involved militarily here, he will get trapped. The point is there, things are building up and the battle is shifting in Indo-Pacific. If you see the indications are there, the way the people are rushing. Japanese Prime Minister, he was here before that. South Korea, way our own Prime Minister is going to the Indo-Pacific countries. These are the clear indications the battle is shifting there. And America is getting trapped. If they get involved in it, I think the game of the America is over. There, the Donald Trump has been talking about G2, that is America and China. He thinks that China is that buffoon that they will get into this trap of that, G2, that you control.
Don't you think this deal is very important for Donald Trump's political survival? Do you think that he will throw it all away after months and months of diplomatic engagements?
See, when you do a strategic mistake, and the strategic mistake which is very obvious on the parameters which is very flimsy, you put yourself in such a position. And if you see the complete military history or the history of the world, it has always been like this. He has been buffoon. He had, tested a month success in Angela, and he thought that everything is a cakewalk. He meddled around with Greenland and thinking that in the Europeans, the way they are, bending on, they want to have some sort of deal with him. He will be able to do it. He's not able to do it with Russia and in Ukraine. He's not able to do it in West Asia because they're actually a bullet flies. And you have to accept casualty which he's not ready to take. Not only the time of Donald Trump is over, but declining power of America is, hastened up. It is a much more rapid speed. This type of strategic mistake. You take it. America is no position militarily. They can take it. Of course, they have got the wherewithal. But wherewithal, you should have, to take risk. You have to have the casualties, which he can't do it. American people can't do it. If you have got all those things, he is not going to push the, nuclear button over there. But I think the point is there, today's world in 21st century, everything is changing. And the way the world is at war and smaller power, they realize the asymmetric, strength of asymmetric warfare, wherewithal like drones, the missiles, like anti-ship missiles, then going for it. I think they have got into the ready, and he was cautioned by his own military. There are a number of military people who resigned. But he didn't listen. He thought, he will be able to deal with it, and he has put, whether it's Javid Kushner, whether it is Witkoff, he thought that it is a cakewalk. He is not able to handle even India. It is not a trade deal. And that way we are living, you have to be absolutely patient. You have to be cool. You have to take decisions with a cool head. Not like
that Donald Trump doesn't have. General Sinha, he's not cool, he's not patient, he wants everything, happen overnight, but that's not how it works. General Sinha, kindly stay on with me. Let's play that bite of Donald Trump once again for all our viewers who are tuning in.
To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. They're scum. You know what scum is? They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
Well, General Sinha, you just heard, the kind of words that Donald Trump has used. Do you think that, we'll once again see in the near future volatile oil markets, disruption of shipping, and again closure of Strait of Hormuz in the coming days or months?
You will see certainly, the Strait of Hormuz, opening, control, and because they have got now that, you see, sometimes you test the blood. And I think the Iranians have tested the blood, and they thought it is going to be making it's staying them. And the Strait of Hormuz has changed. As far as other things are concerned, you see, militarily, if you commit wrongly somewhere and you get into the spiral, it is a problematic. America was able to get away from, during the Bush administration, and thereafter also they got away from this Russia-Ukraine war. During the previous, presidents, they got involved themselves there. They got away from there. It is very difficult to leave it here in the West Asia because, you see, the battles are shifting from transatlantic to Mediterranean to, it has come to Indian Ocean region, it will go to Indo-Pacific. Things are shifting. And finally it will go to Arctic region. So there is a declining power, America, everyone knows, strategically everyone knows this is a declining power. both militarily they are declining, they are, economically they are but as for the oil is concerned, oil is in surplus. Yesterday, the way the Saudi Arabia has taken decision to bring the prices of the petroleum and the crude oil, they have brought it down. It is now less than $79. And the way more pumping way is being done by UAE, more pumping. So oil is surplus. As on today, the oil is not a shortage. The supply chain is a problem. There is a much more oil is available, including Russia. Yesterday was the highest, production of oil in Russia. There is a narrative which is being built up that the Russian refining is being hit by Ukraine. But overall, there is availability of crude oil. And this game, OPEC has got away from it. OPEC is finding very difficult to stabilize the prices because everyone thinks that they have got a leverage, and they are correct. Along with the Iranians, first time UAE understood that they can control. Saudi Arabia thinks that they have been controlling OPEC. So I think there is a surplus oil. There is no shortage. And India is getting its due. 11 tankers came. There are 7 tankers are waiting for with the fertilizer and natural gas. And they're coming. Nothing is going to happen. This is going to settle down. You will find that everyone, because the way India has diversified itself, everyone is diversified. So there is not that you stick to a place and think you get stuck yourself in a bad situation.
And India is focused on multilateralism, and we are diversifying our investment portfolio across the world, not just sticking to our traditional old partners. But America being the country that it is, do you think somewhere that Donald Trump is reading the script of Israel while taking on Iran after signing the MOU?
Yeah, as far as Israel is concerned, Israel has got all right to do the things that they think for their own benefit. See, they were hit on 7th October 2023. They badly hit, and that was a wrong calculation by Iran that time with the power of they have been talking about the axis of power. Whether it's Houthi, Hezbollah, and Hamas, they have gone, and Israel is doing. But what happened? Netanyahu is getting into politics. In October, he has to face, again, he has to go to the people who will select them. That part he wants to extend, and that's why for Greater Israel, now he is working on a Greater Israel, which they left, like in Lebanon. They used to be, up to Litani River. Now this time they have crossed over the Litani River, gone to the hillside. They are extending that. They have gone into as far the Golan Heights. They have expanded that side, buffer zone. They have taken it. They have gone towards the Syria side. They think, on Gaza, they have taken more than 70. Now, I think 80% the yellow line has increased. They're controlled. So they are on a different, and also West Bank, they are trying to have more control. So they are on a different trip.
I'm really sorry to interrupt you here, but we have a big breaking news coming in, and this in line with what we're discussing. The first impact of Donald Trump's statement is being felt in Dalal Street because Sensex has crashed 1,500 points. Nifty has slipped below 24,000. How do you look at the markets from here on, General Sinha? Although you're not a market expert, but the kind of ramifications Donald Trump's statement can have.
As a layman, we also read the market. May not be in those technical terms. But market, these type of statements, these type of are there to make money. And the market is reacting as per that. Sensex going up, Sensex going down. There is a one statement, okay, there is a talk is on. Donald Trump is giving this statement, there is a crash, there is a market. The market is fluctuating not because of the tangible factor, intangible factor by statement. That, there is likely chances of going to be. It is not going to affect. I said that, as far as oil is concerned, oil is in surplus as of today. It is a new phenomenon which has come the world has seen. It is only you have to get the oil, and you will get the oil from anywhere. Tangerine oil is available. Tangerine Prime Minister was there in India. So there is diversification. We are getting the oil because there is a refinery problem as far as Russia is concerned. We are getting the oil. But the market, and this is the market, Sensex and Nifty going up and down, it is a tactics with the America, Donald Trump is playing. It's going up and down. His people are making money. You see, it is not I'm saying allegations, but people know this type of statement will come, so this going down, I don't read much. And, as a layman, which I understand and seeing this phenomena, it is happening quite often. One statement and there is a crash. So it jumps up, it goes down, and this phenomena will carry on. And we have to understand, and the people are very, very, the way the people are not investing in the market, this is the reason.
Well, Sinha, what do you predict in the coming days? How long before West Asia could slip once again into another round of, military confrontation? Or do you think that will not happen?
See, military confrontation by aerial strike, that America has got capability. America has got the capability to put some blockades, which they have done it. But blockades are not very effective. The days of, the aircraft carrier is getting over because, you see, the way their Gerald Fort was hit. Of course, they said this fire is because of the laundry. But the reality is that it is hit by missiles, by anti-ship missiles. And they have to pull back to Greece, then they have taken, back to America for. So this type of vulnerability because of, long distance, asymmetric way of doing things. And everyone is gaining experience. It is not only Iran has got it, even Ukraine has got it. Russia is having problems because of, their missile, the slam drone attack, the way it has been hitting. So the new things, new dimensions of war is getting into it, and everyone is taking, including India. We are taking it. We are saying, there are certain things possible. Now there is a thing. Yesterday, I think the top general of the United States of America has been saying the days of the tank is over. Mm-hmm. So, and because the tank can be hit with a very cheap, your drones. And it is happening in the battlefield. You go inside the Ukraine, you see it happening in Donbass, it is happening in the area of Luhansk, Donetsk. This is happening there. So those maneuver, blitzkrieg operations going, it is something, we have to take note of it. And I think the world is taking note of it, and you have to modify yourself. And everyone will modify, including America.
Now, how do you assess Iran's response to this? Do you think that Iran will indulge in, this rhetoric that Donald Trump is currently involved in?
See, Iran, one part is there in Iran. Iran has also understood its resolve. The 9 crore people, 9.1 crore people of Iran, the way they have come up, and especially from 4 to, today is 8, tomorrow is 9, the last day of this Supreme Court. See, they have realized. And you see, this can't be a drama. This can't be. If you remember, General Qasem Soleimani, when he died, the same thing was there. So the stories, the narratives which is there, that the people are there, they will dig. Iran is a power, the Persian power, which has got, and the people don't live it. You do not have to. Iran hasn't got a wherewithal to hit. They do not have a navy, neither air force, neither air defense, but it has got geographies in favor, which we are leveraging it. And the state of Hormuz, they have found a new, strategic dimension. They are using it for their benefit. And they will, like India, more than 100 countries representations are there, on this Ayatollah al-Khamenei Supreme Court. In spite of that, America was trying to hold even including India. But the Indian delegation is there, led by, I think, Atta Hasnan, Lieutenant Atta Hasnan is there, along with, and he's attending, in spite of, the United States saying not to go over there.
Now, with Donald Trump now saying that essentially the MOU is over, do you think this gives, Israel a free hand to, to adopt a more aggressive approach?
Israel, see what Israel can do. Stand-off attack by, Air Force. It has got a saturation point. After until and if you put on ground, And Mossad is not a omnipresent, put on ground there. Mossad has got agents. They can't do much. CIA can't do much. They want to do it with the Kurds from that side. They want to do it with the Baloch from the Afghani side. They wanted to do it, to put pressure on Iran. That has not worked. There was some skirmishes which has taken place from Iraq and also from the northwest of Iran. But I think, Iran is good enough, and IRGC along with their... See, IRGC has got also two forces more, the Quds and the Ba'ath forces. Because we think that IRGC is that. IRGC is also Quds forces are there. They operate in international, and the way internationally they happened yesterday in Syria. And Macron was there, and the moment he left, there was a blast. I don't know whose hand is there, but their presence is there. The things are not that easy, These are the strategic dimensions. It has got a lot of phenomena which, simmers underground and erupt. So saying MOU is over, let's see. Let's wait. And you see, in America, if they have started that they will put Iran on a stone age, will they be able to do it? By firing few missiles, by air strikes. See, there is an American revelation by the pilot who actually whose plane was shot down. He has given revelation that he was hit with a swarm drone, F-16. Even one F-35 has gone down. About 50 aircraft America has lost. America has fired 10 years interception, whether it is Patriot, THAAD, they have used it. So strategic reserve, see how many it can be manufactured as far as when you say a Patriot missile. They have got a limitation. N number can be only produced. So there is a gap.
Pressure on these defense manufacturers also, General Sinha, in the US. So we'll have to wait and watch. Like you said, the world is currently, in a wait and watch mode because Donald Trump's statements cannot be taken seriously, but they cannot be ignored as well. And the first major signs are being seen in the markets around us. But thank you, Major General K.K. Sinha, for joining me on this valuable discussion.